Namaste students. In today's class, I'll be talking to you about column chromatography, its definition, principle, and the procedure which we normally use in the lab. Purification of mixture into its components is done using a column in column chromatography. The sample to be separated is placed on the top of the column, which passes through the column at different rates based on affinities of these components to the absorbent and is collected at the bottom as depicted in this picture. As seen in all other chromatographic procedures, this procedure also has a stationary phase, a mobile phase, and a column. The column is a cylindrical tube, usually made of plastic or a glass, and is open at both ends with a knob at one end to here. It's open at both ends and a knob at one end to control the flow. The stationary phase is selected on the basis of the property used for the separation of the components of the given mixture, that may be size, charge, or polarity. Now, as we have selected the stationary phase, let us now see the selection of the mobile phase. It may be a pure solvent or a mixture of solvents. It must be taken care that the nature of the mobile phase should be of opposite nature to that of the stationary phase. That is, if a stationary phase is polar, then non-polar mobile phase is selected. If the stationary phase is hydrophilic, then mobile phase must be hydrophobic. Some of the examples of the mobile phases are carbon tetrachloride, dichloromethane, methanol, chloroform, acetic acid, and there are many more. Now, as the stationary phase and mobile phase are selected, let us see how the packing of the column is done. As we have seen, the column is a long cylindrical tube. The stationary phase is filled in the column. If it is a powder, as in the case of silica, then it cannot be poured straight into the tube because it will flow through it. So, at one end of the tube where the knob is present, cotton is plugged. The cotton must not be too thick or too thin. If it is too thick, then the solvent may not pass through it. And if it is too thin, then silica may pass out of the column. Above the above the cotton, acid washed sand is layered. Then silica is poured. The filling of the silica is done by two means, either by dry method or by wet method. In dry method, just the silica is poured into the column and then saturated with the solvent or the mobile phase. In the wet method, the stationary phase, that is the silica, and the solvent or the mobile phase are mixed together and made into a slurry and then poured into the tube. Once the slurry is in the column, it is then adjusted with the help of a hand pump. On the top of the column, again, acid washed sand is poured on the top, so as to make the column with uniform edges, both at the top and at the bottom. Uniform distribution of the sample is also done because of the sand, and because of the sand layer, the silica will not be disturbed while pouring of the sample. Now, this column is considered as packed column. Care must be taken so that there are no air bubbles in it, and the silica must not be dried out. So the solvent is filled to the top of the column. Now let us see the process of purification. Sample is run in the column for purification. For this, the sample is placed at the top of the column over the sand. Now the sample is said to be loaded. The sample moves through the column. Thus, now let us suppose that the stationary phase is polar and mobile phase is non-polar. The sample may contain mixture of polar and non-polar components. The polar components of the sample has high affinity towards the polar stationary phase and binds tightly to the stationary phase. In this picture, let us suppose the blue color one is the polar stationary polar component of the mixture, which binds tightly to the stationary phase, whereas the non-polar component of the sample has more affinity towards the mobile phase and thus moves faster than the polar components, and thus it is moved out of the column first. The solvent with the components are collected in small amounts at a time. These are called the fractions, and the process of collection is called elution. The nonpolar components are collected with the help of nonpolar mobile phase. If the polar components can be removed using the same mobile phase, then the elution is called isocratic elution, because same mobile phase is used to elute nonpolar and polar components. But if the mobile phase is either made more nonpolar or altogether a different mobile phase is used for elution, then the elution is called as gradient elution. After the samples are collected, the samples are analyzed for the components, either by TLC in the case of chemicals and amino acids, and gel electrophoresis in the case of nucleic acids. In the next class, I'll be talking to you about types of column chromatography. Thank you.